Well, good afternoon. My name is Steve Waller, and I'm the Dean of the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th Salute to Graduates. It's a very special day for us, as is every day in Kastner, but this one has particular importance because of what we're celebrating. So the program will essentially start on time. That clock's a little fast in case you're watching. And I had no idea that when we hired Meg, we hired a comedian, but apparently we did. She's the one that helps put this together and will keep us on track. I'd like for you to think about your cell phones. If you have them, some places say turn them off. We prefer you just put it on silent, because if you'd like to update your Facebook posting, whatever that might mean, go right ahead. If you want to update it and use the Kastner name in it somehow, that would be good. And if you tweet, go ahead and tweet. You may, if you're following me, and I have a lot of followers, but if you are, you will see for the very first time in the history of tweeting, hands-free tweeting, because I'll probably post something while I'm up here talking, and you'll figure this out fairly quickly. So we're happy to have you here. We have 320 students graduating this spring. That's the largest May graduation we've ever had. We'll have about 149 recognized today. And so as the college grows, so does this opportunity to launch our students into their professional careers, and that in itself is exciting. This event was created by the College Alumni Association, and the Institute of Ag and Natural Resources, primarily to provide us an opportunity to thank you, the parents and families and students, for choosing the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and specifically our college. It's an honor to have your students with us. They have enriched our community, and we will be forever different by having them here. And as luck would have it, we are now part of their educational pedigree forever, and they are part of our legacy. So this is a very special day, and one that we just wanted to say thank you for sharing your students with us. It's been a remarkable time for us. Secondly, we wanted to provide an opportunity for the parents and the family and the friends of the students to share in the celebration. This is a significant accomplishment for your student and for the family as well. We are strongly committed to the fact that these are family investments and they are family accomplishments. So we wanted you to have the opportunity as a family to share it. And it warrants the personal recognition that we'll provide. So you'll get to see the students as they walk across the stage, and hopefully that personalizes what tomorrow will be a very important event. The commencement is something that's very special for families as well, but you can imagine there's several students that will graduate tomorrow, thousands, so we're making this a special event for you today to enjoy it. And then finally, we wanted our students to be able to tell you what they're going to do when they graduate, and some of their significant memories of the college. So they've filled out a card that will be read as they walk across the stage, highlighting in a few words their experience in the college and where they're going, and we're excited about that. As parents, I'm sure you'll be proud of these accomplishments, but some of their memories may catch you off guard, but it's all part of the experience. If they talk about parking tickets you didn't know about, don't worry about it. They graduated, they must have paid them sometime. So it is a wonderful time, and as I said, the Institute is part of this and sponsors this, and so it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ronnie Green, the NU Vice President and Harlan Vice Chancellor for Agriculture and Natural Resources.
Well, good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and especially to East Campus here this afternoon. I know that it's a big weekend for all of you. You wouldn't be here celebrating with your graduate or graduates in some cases. If it wasn't a big and momentous milestone in your family's life and in the life of the student that you have graduating. My wife Jane and I can relate to that. We have 9 UNL degrees in our family, and we have 4 more in process at the moment. So we understand what the milestone of graduation means to you, and we congratulate you and your student for that accomplishment. You know, we're your land-grant university, and I know many of you, I'm just out of curiosity, how many in here are graduates of UNL? How many are graduates of Kasner, went to the ag program here? That's what I guess might be the case, so many of you are home here on the campus where you studied. We're your land-grant university. Those of you that have been here understand that and know that, which means that we serve the people of Nebraska, and we serve the needs of the people of Nebraska. When your graduate crosses that stage tomorrow and receives their diploma for their undergraduate degree, those that are graduating this afternoon, right now as we speak, in the master's and PhD ceremony that's going on downtown this afternoon, they're joining the ranks of a really elite institution. I want you to understand that. They're joining the ranks of a land-grant university that's one of the top land-grant universities in the country. They're joining the ranks of graduates of what used to be called, at one time in our history, University of Nebraska was referred to as the Harvard of the Plains. It was the first major university west of the Mississippi River. And we still think of ourselves as the Harvard of the Plains. I married a lady named Jane Pauley who grew up in Harvard and graduated from Harvard, Nebraska High School. But no, and seriously, your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter, your friend, or child of a friend who's graduating this weekend is graduating from a phenomenal university. And they're proud of it. We're proud of it. We're proud of them. We're proud of what they're going to do in their lifetimes. You know, never before has there been more demand for students with an education in the backgrounds that these students are receiving their degrees in. Never before has food, fuel, water, natural resources mattered more to the world than it does today, and that it will in the lifetimes of these young people as they go through their career, whatever that career might take them into. This is a phenomenal time ahead for them. And we look forward to the leadership they're going to provide. Something to think about as you watch your graduate tomorrow. When they reach the peak of their career, we'll be at the year 2050, halfway through this century that we're just kind of on the front end of today. And the challenges that they're going to face and the challenges that they're going to lead in facing in the world are going to be very different than they are for us. And we think they're well equipped to handle them, and that they'll lead us through those challenges in the future. So congratulations to every one of them. Thank you so very much for what you've done to get them here and to support them and be part of the process to make them successful. I especially want to thank, we will do so later after we've recognized the graduates, the faculty and the staff of our college. We are very blessed here with a phenomenal faculty who care deeply about students, who care deeply about their success, and the staff that go along with them. Everybody down to the janitors, the cafeteria workers, the landscape workers on our campus, they all care deeply about our students. So please give them a round of applause for the impact that they've had on these young people. Now we're going to get started because we have a lot of people to go through this afternoon. This is one of our largest graduating classes in our history. So I'm going to invite to the stage now as we begin to recognize the graduates. Steve Kaiser, president of the Kasner Alumni Association. Dean Waller will join us up here on the stage. Our process that we'll use this afternoon is that each of our students will be introduced by Jill Brown, the voice of Kasner, the voice of INR, behind the stage over here. and she will tell you a few things about each of our graduates, what they're graduating in, where they're from, where they've come to the campus from in their hometown, what one of their favorite memories is, and where they're headed, what their next step is as they graduate and finish up tomorrow. So if you guys will join us, we'll get ready to get started. There'll be opportunities for you. I'm sure some of you will be taking pictures. We also are grabbing a picture of each person as they come across that you'll be able to access and get a copy of later on as well. So, Steve? My wife said there are like 7 or 8, 9, 10 seats up front for anyone in the back that would like to try to grab a seat as we get started. Don't be bashful. I know there are a number of folks standing in the back. First, our first department of graduates to be recognized will be led by Dr. Larry Van Tassel, who is the head of the Department of Agricultural Economics. These students will be receiving degrees in agribusiness, agricultural economics, and natural resources and environmental economics.
Nathan Anderson is from Elgin, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Nathan will be returning home to work on the family farm with his 2 brothers. Nathan's greatest educational experience was participating in the study abroad trip to New Zealand. Nick Barber is from Gretna, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Nick will be working with Archer Daniels Midland Company in their merchandising trainee program. Nick's greatest educational experience was getting firsthand experience in managing a business. Nathan Bruning is from West Point, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Nathan will be working as a loan officer at Citizen State Bank in Wisner, Nebraska. He also plans to work alongside his dad on the family farm. Nathan's greatest accomplishment was maintaining a high enough grade point average to make it onto the dean's list. Justin Dahlgren is from Bertrand, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Justin will be returning to the family farm and feedlot in Bertrand, Nebraska. Justin's greatest educational experiences were his connections, friendships, experiences, and memories gained through involvement in clubs, judging teams, and Alpha Gamma Rho. Blake Droman is from Hastings, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Blake will be returning home to work on the family farm with his dad. Blake's greatest accomplishment was passing Ron Hansen's agriculture economics classes with good grades. Blake Gingenbach is from Eustis, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Blake will be moving back to the home to the family farming operation. Blake's greatest educational experience was studying abroad in New Zealand and getting the chance to meet so many great people throughout his college career. Justin Goebel is from Tucson, Arizona, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. John will be working as an assistant manager of operations in Scott City, Kansas for Bartlett Grain. John's greatest educational experience was graduating. Matthew Grosshans is from Aurora, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Matthew will be working with his father on the family farm. Matthew's greatest educational experience was studying abroad in New Zealand. Haley Harthorne is from Ainsworth, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural economics. Haley will be working with Dow AgriSciences as a sales trainee in Nebraska. Haley's greatest educational experience was being a part of the Engler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program and skydiving in New Zealand. Brian Healy is from Schuyler, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Brian will be returning back to sell Pioneer seeds with his dad at Healy Agri-Service and continuing to farm. Brian's greatest educational experience was getting to learn about business and agronomy. Judson Hofschneider is from Arlington, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Judd will be working for Cargill Animal Nutrition as a management associate in Ferndale, Washington. Judd's greatest educational experiences were getting to know students and staff, attending sporting events, and being able to give back. Patrick Hawksmeyer is from Orleans, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Patrick will be working for Cargill as a trainee and then a sales agronomist. Patrick's greatest accomplishment was his involvement in leadership in Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity and the Nebraska Human Resources Institute. Nathan Kreitzer is from Holdridge, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Nathan will be working at UNL this summer while applying for positions with UNL Extension offices and Purina Mills. Nathan's greatest educational experience was working with UNL Extension this last summer for Boone and Nance counties. Amber Mawson is from Hershey, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Amber will be gaining experience in the workforce in pursuit of her dream of owning a craft coffee boutique in a rural Nebraska community. Amber's greatest educational experience was interning with the 4-H Extension Program and the Amazing Ladies of Women in Agriculture Conference. Valerie Matulka is from Thedford, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Valerie will be joining the banking industry as a credit analyst for First State Bank, Nebraska. Valerie's greatest educational experience was traveling abroad to New Zealand. Hannah Morrison is from Nebraska City, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Hannah will be working at Arbor Bank in Nebraska City as a credit analyst, training to become a junior lender. Hannah's greatest accomplishment was being a part of the Nebraska Bankers Association internship program. Alan Nissen is from Marquette, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Alan will be pursuing a position with Cargill Ag Horizons in the grain marketing area. Alin's greatest educational experience was making it to this day in 4 years and having supportive and genuine professors who grew to be her mentors. Tyler Pledrup is from Caro, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Tyler will be returning to Caro to farm and work in precision agriculture sales and agronomy services. Tyler's greatest accomplishment was making numerous connections and friendships. Logan Reed is from Holdridge, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Logan will be going home to the family farm and working alongside his father. Logan's greatest accomplishments were making relationships that will continue on and being the first one in his family to get a college degree. Paul Rezak is from Valparaiso, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Paul will be returning back to the family farm and seed business. Paul's greatest accomplishment was making many connections and learning the skills needed for the farm. Corey Schindler is from Elgin, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Corey will be working in Redwood Falls, Minnesota for Monsanto as a seed production management trainee. Corey's greatest accomplishment was making lifelong friends and gaining a better knowledge of the ag industry from a business perspective. Miles Steen is from Minden, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness. Miles returning home to the family farm to work alongside his father. Miles' greatest educational experience was visiting the On-Farm Research Center near Meade to learn firsthand about site-specific crop management. Damon Steinbrink is from Loomis, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Damon will be returning home to help with the family farm operations. Damon's greatest accomplishment was being accepted into the Mortarboard Senior Honor Society. Claire Volk is from Arlington, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Claire will be moving to Dallas, Texas to work for Dow AgriSciences in their Range and Pasture division. Claire's greatest educational experience was diversifying her experiences in agriculture with memories and mentors from many sectors in the industry. Tyler Wickman is from Palmer, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Tyler will be moving to Stillwater, Oklahoma, where he'll be getting certified in performance agriculture. Tyler's greatest accomplishment was graduating debt-free and meeting lifelong friends. Jacob Wydix from Farnham, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Jacob will be returning home to the farm and ranch. Jacob's greatest educational experience was studying abroad in New Zealand. Shay Winkler is from York, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Restoration Science and in Natural Resources and Environmental Economics. Shay will be finishing his internship at the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources and looking for jobs in the renewable energy industry. Shay's greatest accomplishment was completing his senior thesis on the economics of installing rooftop solar panels. Cooper Wissing is from Shelton, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. Cooper will be returning home to join the family farm and ranch operation. Cooper's greatest accomplishment was making friends and connections that will last a lifetime.
Let's congratulate these graduates of the Department of Ag Econ. I think I want to go on the New Zealand trip. Next, leading the graduates in the Department of Agricultural Leadership, Education, and Communication is Dr. Dan Huseman, professor in the department. He will be leading students graduating with degrees in agricultural education and in agricultural journalism.
Josh Batenhorst is from Beamer, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Josh will be working at Boise Simmentals, raising bulls and Simmental cow-calf pairs. Josh's greatest accomplishment was meeting lifelong friends and averaging 3 parking tickets per semester. Bethany Blackburn is from Bassett, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Bethany will be teaching agriculture education in Thedford, Nebraska. Bethany's greatest accomplishment was being able to attend UNL with amazing individuals whose work will lead her to a better world. Alyssa Dye is from Alliance, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Alyssa will be working full-time with the Kimmel Education and Research Center in Nebraska City full-time in video production and marketing. Alyssa's greatest educational experience was traveling to Benin, West Africa on a study abroad trip focused on culture and agriculture within developing countries. Ryan Engel is from Fremont, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Ryan will be returning to his 5th-generation family farm. Ryan's greatest accomplishment was completing his student teaching experience. Lauren Ibas from Sumner, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Lauren will be starting the Agricultural Education program at Elm Creek Public Schools and continuing her involvement with youth agriculture programs. Lauren's greatest accomplishment was serving on the Nebraska Agriculture Youth Council for 3 years, where she was able to network with professionals and educate youth about agriculture. Gina Jenkins is from Scottsbluff, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agriculture Journalism. Gina will be taking a position as the farm broadcaster for KNEB out of Scottsbluff, covering ag in the Panhandle. She's also getting married in August. Gina's greatest accomplishments were graduating 4 years after changing her major and working 2 jobs while being an officer for a registered student organization. Valerie Kesterson is from Bridgeport, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Journalism. Valerie will be promoting the agriculture industry through outreach, advertising, and public relations. Valerie's greatest accomplishment was having the opportunity to travel and network with students, faculty, and professionals across the country. Emma Likens is from Swanton, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Journalism. Emma will be joining Cargill Feed Animal Nutrition as a management trainee starting in Kansas City. Emma's greatest accomplishment was serving with other student leaders as a part of the Nebraska Agricultural Youth Council and Agriculture Future of America Student Advisory Team. Morgan Netz is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Morgan will be serving as a Chi Omega National Consultant. Morgan's greatest educational experience was working with Dr. Lindsay Hastings and 2 other students on their U-Care project, which focused on leadership transfer in Nebraska communities. Amelia Whipple is from Firth, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education. Amelia will be the agriculture instructor and FFA advisor for Sterling High School. Amelia's greatest educational experience was being a student in Kasner, which has provided her many opportunities to grow personally and professionally while pursuing her passion.
Let's congratulate these graduates from agricultural education. Next, leading the graduates from the Department of Agronomy and Horticulture is Dr. Roch Gossois, the head of the Department of Agronomy and Horticulture. He'll be leading students receiving degrees in agronomy, horticulture, or turfgrass and landscape management.
Seth Behrens is from David City, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in turfgrass and landscape management. Seth will be getting married in June and completing a year-long internship on the Nebraska crew team. Seth's greatest educational experience was developing relationships that will help him succeed both personally and professionally. Aaron Block is from Gothenburg, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Aaron will be returning home and seeking employment. Aaron's greatest educational experience was getting to live in the same room his dad had in the dorm. Alex Bottleson is from Hardington, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Alex will be exploring employment opportunities after graduation. Alex's greatest accomplishment was having internships across the state during the summer. Kendra Brettschneider is from Springview, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in horticulture. Kendra will be working as a landscape designer at Campbell's Nurseries here in Lincoln. Kendra's greatest accomplishment was being accepted into Pi Alpha Chi and Gamma Sigma Delta. Ryan Boulin is from Bruning, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Ryan will be planning to take a job in the agriculture retail crop scouting business in the Bruning area. Ryan's greatest accomplishments were competing on the soil judging team, placing both regionally and nationally, and competing with the UNL archery team that placed at nationals. Brendan Chrisman is from St. Edward, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Brendan will be working full-time for Central Valley Agriculture in Tilden, Nebraska as a crop consultant. Brendan's greatest educational experience was connecting with professors and being able to help fellow students as a teaching assistant for Dr. Don Lee's genetics class. Derek Essman is from North Loop, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Derek will be working in both agronomy and pioneer seed sales with his dad in the family business. Derek's greatest accomplishment was learning how to manage schoolwork with his personal life and maintaining a respectable grade point average. Kent Freckles from Atkinson, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Kent will be moving to South Dakota to start a job as an agriculture sales trainee for Cargill. Kent's greatest educational experience was taking a large variety of courses from different departments that will help him be successful in modern agriculture. Molly Hoffbauer is from Valparaiso, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Molly will be working as a sales agronomist for Cargill in Elwood, Nebraska. Molly's greatest educational experience was being a part of the UNL Agronomy Club and attending the Students of Agronomy Soils and Environmental Science meetings in Texas, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Edward Hoffman is from Chambers, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Ed will be working for Malmstrom Agronomics, located in Scotia, Nebraska, as an agronomist. Edward's greatest educational experience was using all of the knowledge learned from classes towards developing management plans for farm operations. Lucas Gasson is from Amherst, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in turfgrass and landscape management. Lucas will be moving to Kansas City to work for Ryan Lawn and Tree in the position of residential lawn care specialist. Lucas's greatest educational experiences were being a member of the Husker track and field team and completing 2 turfgrass internships. And being taller than all the administrators. Aaron Kinley is from Blue Hill, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in horticulture. Aaron will be pursuing a master's degree in public horticulture through the Longwood Graduate Program at the University of Delaware. Aaron's greatest educational experience was pursuing her passion for horticulture through extracurricular activities, research, and travel. Kyle Krula is from Rogers, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Kyle will be employed at Krula Land and Cattle. Kyle's greatest accomplishment was using his education and experiences to look at things with a new point of view. Zachary Morrissey is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Zach will be working as a sales representative for Certified Piedmontese Beef. Zachary's greatest accomplishment was passing every class that he took. Jackson Ramsbottom is from Elkhorn, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Turf, Grass, and Landscape Management. Jackson will be working for a landscape design company in Elkhorn. Jackson's greatest educational experiences are making connections and learning from everyone within the horticulture department and his involvement in Sigma Phi Epsilon. William Royals from Central City, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. William will be returning home to help on the family farm and working part-time for Central Valley Ag Co-op. William's greatest educational experience was joining the Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity. Alex Sint is from Franklin, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Alec will be pursuing a position with AgReliant as a district sales manager. Alec's greatest accomplishment was graduating in 4 years and making the dean's list for 3 semesters. Colin Sorhan is from Eldon, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Colin will be working as a field agronomist for a large farm corporation outside of Central City. Colin's greatest accomplishment was gaining the knowledge to earn his degree. Rachel Stevens is from Falls City, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Rachel will be pursuing a master's degree in mechanized systems management at UNL, focusing on precision agriculture technologies. Rachel's greatest educational experience was gaining hands-on experience and succeeding in competitions with the UNL soil judging team. Don Treptow is from Ithaca, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Don will be attending graduate school in an agronomy-related field. Don's greatest accomplishments were attending the Agronomy and Horticulture Department's sponsored study abroad trip to Argentina in 2013 and being a teaching assistant for Agronomic Plant Science Lab and resource-efficient crop management for multiple years. Nathan Ulrich is from West Point, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Nathan will be continuing to farm while developing his agronomy business, Central Plains Solutions. Nathan's greatest educational experience was taking Agronomy 405 with Stephen Mason because it was hands-on and applicable to real-world situations. Kaylin Wiskamp is from North Loop, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agronomy. Kaylin will be working with answer plots for Winfield Solutions in central and western Nebraska. Kaylin's greatest accomplishment was having the opportunity to follow in her mother's footsteps with a degree from Kasner and having the job opportunity of a lifetime.
Next, Dr. Larry Berger, the head of the Department of Animal Science, will lead graduates receiving a degree in animal science.
Katie Bidney is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Katie will be attending graduate school at Iowa State, studying reproductive physiology. Katie's greatest accomplishment was being selected as a San Diego Zoo Institute for Conservation Research Summer Fellow. Caitlin Baranik is from Malcolm, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Caitlin will be working in the animal pharmaceutical field. Caitlin's greatest accomplishment was becoming the first intern at IACP. Ben Eilertz is from West Point, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Ben will be attending veterinary school through the UNL Iowa State School of Veterinary Medicine program. Ben's greatest accomplishment was being in the honors convocation for 3 years. Shelby Gardine is from Bertrand, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Shelby was studying ruminant nutrition while attending graduate school here at UNL. Shelby's greatest accomplishment was being involved in undergraduate research through the UCARE program. Ellen Hastenkamp is from Beamer, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Ellen will be working for Washington County Extension as a 4-H assistant. Ellen's greatest accomplishment was graduating in just 3 years. Rachel Houston is from Grand Island, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Rachel will be attending graduate school. Rachel's greatest accomplishment was working hard to get on the dean's list. Elizabeth Huter is from Gilbert, Arizona, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in animal science. Elizabeth will be attending Washington State University to obtain a master's degree in animal breeding and genetics and work for Sigma Alpha National Sorority as a chapter consultant. Elizabeth's greatest accomplishment were being in the Cornhusker Marching Band for 3 years and being the 4th generation to graduate from UNL. Aaron Lauer is from Gothenburg, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Aaron will be returning to the family farm, feedlot, and cow-calf operation. Aaron's greatest accomplishment was running a successful business at home while still going to school. Janae Martin is from Oddbury, California, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Janae will be working as the Research and Development Product Development Scientist with Nature's Variety. Janae's greatest educational experiences were working in the meat science laboratory and building great relationships with her professors and advisors. Jordan Matties is from Gothenburg, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Jordan will be returning home to work at the local golf course for the summer and potentially working at the local veterinary clinic. Jordan's greatest educational experiences were helping with the Burr Fetty Love Bull Fright in 2012 and 2013. Cameron Menard is from Arlington, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Cameron will be attending veterinary school through Iowa State University. Cameron's greatest accomplishment was discovering his passion for the animal health industry and taking the opportunity to further his education in animal science. Kelly Myers is in St. Edward, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Kelly will be finding a job working in the livestock production area. Kelly's greatest educational experience was having the opportunity to teach her favorite livestock management skills class. Morgan Muehlbach is from Ravenna, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Morgan will be working for Cargill Animal Protein as a pork protein management associate in their field office in Atlanta, Georgia. Morgan's greatest accomplishment was completing a month-long study abroad agriculture industry tour in New Zealand with Kasner professors and peers. Krista Ostick is from Lawrence, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science and in Psychology. Krista will be working in the psychology field with goals to make animal therapy a more prevalent form of treatment for those suffering a mental or emotional distress or illness. Krista's greatest educational experience was becoming equipped to be a positive influence in the world through studying abroad, leadership roles, growing in her faith, and meeting great people. Grant Patatel is from Herman, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Grant will be returning home to the family farming and seed stock Red Angus operation. Grant's greatest accomplishment was learning and retaining as much information as possible while building many great relationships. Ashley Probst is from Odell, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Ashley moving back home to work for Farmers Cooperative at the Burchard, Nebraska branch as the office clerk. In addition, she plans to help out on the family farm. Ashley's greatest educational experience was completing the Nebraska Beef Industry Scholars Program. Braden Raker is from Eustis, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Braden returning to Eustis to continue building his cattle herd and begin farming. Braden's greatest accomplishment was receiving certification to artificially inseminate cattle. Alex Romelfanger is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Alex will be attending veterinary school through the UNL Iowa State School of Veterinary Medicine program. Alex's greatest accomplishment was developing lifelong friendships that allowed her to pursue her interests and make college a memorable experience. Mackenzie Schneekloth is from Columbus, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Mackenzie will be attending veterinary graduate school in the fall at UNL. Mackenzie's greatest accomplishments were remaining in the top 10% of the college academically all 4 years of college and qualifying for the National Intercollegiate Horse Show Association competition in Massachusetts. Austin Schroeder is from Kennesaw, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Austin will be doing the UNL Feedlot Management Internship, working for Gotch Cattle in Juniata, Nebraska. Austin's greatest accomplishment was graduating. Erica Spangler is from Murray, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Erica will be attending veterinary school through the UNL Iowa State School of Veterinary Medicine program. Erica's greatest accomplishment was her overall high academic success that has allowed her to follow her dream to become a veterinarian. Ashley Spilnick is from Elba, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Ashley will be returning to the family farm and ranch to work with her dad. She hopes to incorporate her artificial insemination services into her own cow herd and one day be able to provide that service to other producers. Ashley's greatest accomplishments were becoming certified to artificially inseminate livestock and receiving an A in Dr. Hansen's Ag Econ 141 and 201 classes. Amanda Steele is from Lee Summit, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science. Amanda will be attending Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine in the fall of 2015. Amanda's greatest educational experiences were the research experience gained through on-campus job and getting into veterinary school.
Next, Dr. John Markwell, Associate Dean of the College of Ag Sciences and Natural Resources and a professor in the Department of Biochemistry, will lead students receiving degrees in applied science.
Christopher Bosquet is from South Sioux City, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Applied Science. Christopher will be returning home and take over the family dairy operation. He also plans to volunteer in the community and help people who are affected by chronic myeloid leukemia by starting a yearly fundraiser for CML. Christopher's greatest accomplishments are being the first person in his family to graduate from a 4-year college, as well as graduating in 3 years while juggling his commitment to the Nebraska Air National Guard. Harlan Hyatt is from Venango, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Applied Science. Harlan will be continuing to work for the university and enrolling in graduate school. Harlan's greatest accomplishment was returning to college after 3 decades and successfully receiving a Bachelor of Science degree. Noah Hubbard is from Elm Creek, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Applied Science. Noah will be returning to the family farm. Noah's greatest educational experience was increasing his knowledge in plant sciences, natural resources, and agronomy while making many friends within Kasner.
Next, Dr. Paul Black, the head of the Department of Biochemistry, will lead a student receiving a degree in biochemistry. Students.
Duquang B is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. Duquang is going into industry and eventually returning to pursue a master's degree. Duquang's greatest educational experience was researching under Drs. Cahoon and Clemente. Jessica Chakel is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. Jessica will be entering the Doctorate of Pharmacy program at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Jessica's greatest accomplishment was being selected as Beckman Scholar, which gave her the opportunities to participate in undergraduate research and present her work. Sarah Christensen is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. Sarah will be attending medical school with an emphasis in pediatric medicine and global health studies. Sarah's greatest educational experience was working in a research lab and being a collaborating author on a scientific journal publication. Sean Erickson is from Ralston, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. Sean will be attending medical school at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Sean's greatest educational experience was teaching for the UNL Chemistry Department. Amanda Harris from Alliance, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. Amanda will be working as an inspector at Potato Certification of Nebraska in her hometown of Alliance. Amanda's greatest educational experiences were studying abroad in South Africa and in China.
Next, Dr. Mark Rowley, the head of the Biological Systems Engineering Department, will lead students receiving degrees in Mechanized Systems Management.
Lucas Allen is from Atascadero, California, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Lucas will be working for the Schooler Company as an Operations Superintendent trainee. Lucas's greatest educational experience was the fun learning atmosphere in and out of the classroom. Jacob Hendrickson is from Burr, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Jacob will be beginning a career with Valmont. Jacob's greatest educational experience was spending 2 summers working for John Deere. Ethan Monholland is from Rocco, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Biological Systems Engineering and in Biochemistry. Ethan will be attending medical school at the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Ethan's greatest educational experience was flying aboard the NASA Weightless Wonder as a member of the UNL microgravity team. Kelby Radney is from Wood River, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Kelby working full-time for Kohler Industries. Kelby's greatest accomplishments were studying abroad in Costa Rica and being involved in the Mechanized Systems Management Club. Rachel Rosinski is from Chicago, Illinois, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Rachel will be traveling and helping to start up the company business Alignment Solutions. Rachel's greatest accomplishment was passing all her classes so she can graduate. Whitney Schultz is from Morrill, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Whitney will be working full-time with Union Pacific as an operations management trainee. Whitney's greatest accomplishment was making the Dean's List every semester and graduating with honors. Taylor Weber is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Taylor will be working as a facility supervisor for Schooler Grain. Taylor's greatest educational experience was working hands-on with Kasner instructors. Justin Williams is from Nelson, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Justin will be working full-time as a test technician in the engineering test lab at Exmark Manufacturing in Beatrice. Justin's greatest accomplishment was completing his degree in only 3 years. Nick Wong is from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanized Systems Management. Nick will be going back to Malaysia and helping with the family business. Nick's greatest accomplishment was graduating.
Next, Dr. Martin Massengale, President Emeritus of the University of Nebraska and Director of the Center for Grassland Studies, will lead graduates receiving degrees in grazing livestock systems and professional golf management.
Kara Crandall is from Inland, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in grazing livestock systems and in animal science. Kara will be seeking employment after graduation. Kara's greatest accomplishments were never failing a class and getting a double degree in 4 years while working. Andrew Moores is from Lewiston, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in PGA Golf Management. Andrew will be starting his golf professional career as an assistant at Knollwood Club in Lake Forest, Illinois. Andrew's greatest accomplishment was placing in the top 5 twice at the PGA Jones Cup in Port St. Lucie, Florida, while being a member of Nebraska's professional golf management program.
Dr. Gary Brewer, head of the entomology department, will lead students receiving degrees in insect science.
Nicole Mann is from Papillion, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in insect science. Nicole will be moving to the Omaha area and pursuing employment in the insect science field. Nicole's greatest educational experience was being involved in the Insect Science Club as a member and an officer and helping with club activities, especially the fall and spring honey sales.
Next, Dr. Dave Gosselin, Director of the Environmental Studies Program and the School of Natural Resources, will lead students receiving degrees in environmental studies.
Jasmine Frazier is from Kansas City, Missouri, is receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in Environmental Studies. Jasmine will be moving back to the Kansas City area after graduation. Jasmine's greatest educational experience was doing her undergraduate thesis research in Japan. Hannah Yonda is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Studies and in Natural Resources and Environmental Economics. Hannah will be pursuing a master's degree in Community and Regional Planning at UNL, and she also plans to continue working for the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department as an environmental public health intern. Hannah's greatest accomplishment was being able to use the skills that she has learned in her course immediately instead of waiting until after graduation to get experience in her field. Caitlin Olson is from Lee, New Hampshire, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Studies. Caitlin will be working full-time with JEO Consulting Group in Lincoln, Nebraska for about a year. She then plans to return to UNL to get her master's degree in the Natural Resources Sciences area. Caitlin's greatest educational experiences were studying abroad for 8 months in Costa Rica and completing a year-long undergraduate senior thesis research project.
Next, Dr. Rolando Flores, the head of the Department of Food Science and Technology, will lead students receiving degrees in food science and technology and food technology for companion animals.
Kaylee Clapper is from Minden, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Food Science and Technology. Kaylee will be attending University of Nebraska Medical Center at Kearney to obtain her Master's of Physician's Assistant Studies. Kaylee's greatest educational experience was serving on the Academic Program Review Committee, where she had the opportunity to work with and learn from individuals from several prestigious institutions around the country. Lydia Molnar is from Ankeny, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Food Technology for Companion Animals and in Food Science and Technology. Lydia will be attending graduate school at Kansas State University, majoring in pet food processing through the Grain Science Department. Lydia's greatest accomplishment was learning how to grow and network. Cassandra Rucker is from North Platte, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Food Science and Technology. Cassandra will be seeking employment opportunities in food quality assurance. Cassandra's greatest accomplishment was working in the microbiology lab for Dr. Jens Walter. Lauren Wilson is from Alva, Wyoming, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Food Science and Technology. Lauren will be attending the University of Nebraska College of Pharmacy. Lauren's greatest accomplishment was graduating with distinction while holding leadership positions in multiple campus organizations.
Next, Dr. Ashley Hall, assistant professor in our Department of Entomology, will lead students receiving degrees in forensic science.
Aktham Adams is from Baghdad, Iraq, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Forensic Science. Aktham will be applying to dental school either at the University of Nebraska Medical Center or Creighton in Omaha. Aktham's greatest accomplishment was a change of character and thinking with new perspectives.
Dr. John Carroll, the director of our School of Natural Resources, will lead students receiving degrees in environmental restoration science, fisheries and wildlife, grassland ecology and management, and water science.
Peyton Burt is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Peyton will be working for the Tern and Plover Conservation Partnership this summer, gaining career experience and then attending graduate school. Peyton's greatest accomplishment was working with piping plovers, an endangered shorebird species, at Lake McConaughey. Lindsay Driggs is from North Platte, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Lindsay will be seeking employment in state, preferably within the Game and Parks area. Lindsay's greatest accomplishment was being a part of the UNL equestrian team and continuing her passion throughout college. Michelle Dvorak is from Farwell, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Michelle will be completing a summer agronomy internship with Agriculture Services in Bolus, Nebraska, and getting married in August. Michelle's greatest accomplishment was surviving her kayaking class without the instructor finding out she can't swim. Kristen Gudenkoff is from Osmond, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Kristen will be searching for employment after graduation. Kristen's greatest educational experience was studying abroad in New Zealand her junior year. Justin Henning is from Crete, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Justin will be seeking employment to work for a wildlife damage control company. Justin's greatest educational experience was when his class went to Estes Park for Dr. Hingstrom's Wildlife Management course. Nicholas Jenkins is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Nicholas will be obtaining a job in the wildlife field after graduation. Nicholas's greatest accomplishment was passing calculus. Brooke Kodak is from Fremont, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Brooke will be continuing her education through graduate studies while also volunteering and networking within the community. Brooke's greatest educational experience was working hands-on with professors in labs and field excursions, especially Miss Netting with Mary Brown. Eric Morrow is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Eric will be looking for employment in environmental consulting and research. Eric's greatest educational experience was working at the Nebraska Department of Roads with the Environmental Permits Unit and traveling all over the state with them. Cody McGregor is from Gibbon, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Cody will be attending graduate school and eventually getting a PhD in ornithology. Cody's greatest educational experience was taking field ornithology at Cedar Point Biological Station the summer after his freshman year. Scotty McLay is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Scotty will be pursuing a Master's in Biology at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. He's also completing research this summer at the Joseph W. Jones Ecological Research Center in Newton, Georgia. Scotty's greatest accomplishment was being chosen to receive a UCARE grant that allowed him to spend 8 weeks in Rio de Janeiro while doing research with Dr. Steve Thomas. Caitlin Miller is from Lorraine, Minnesota, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Restoration Science. Caitlin will be working for the United States Forest Service in Idaho as a stream technician for their effectiveness monitoring program. Caitlin's greatest educational experience was her involvement in leadership on the rowing team, where she learned about time management and being a good leader. Jessica Powell is from Omaha, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Water Science. Jessica will be working for Peroxychem in Buffalo, New York as a lab technician in their Soil and Groundwater Research and Development Division. Jessica's greatest accomplishment was completing her thesis about removing turnblowing from water. Carolyn Ryland Smith is from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Carolyn will be attending graduate school at Florida Atlantic University to pursue a master's in environmental sciences. Caitlin's greatest educational experience was being an undergraduate teaching assistant for herpetology and vertebrate zoology. Mitchell Renteria is from Lincoln, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Mitchell will be working in natural resources, either restoring wildlife habitats in the West or continuing to work for the National Park Service to protect our nation's federal lands. Mitchell's greatest educational experience was working for the National Park Service for 5 years. Scott Roop is from Valentine, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Scott will be working for EA Engineering as a science technician. Scott's greatest accomplishment was traveling through the western United States as a wildland firefighter. Katie Schlafke is from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. Katie will be working for Dr. Mark Pegg's Fisheries Lab as a research technician during the summer, then applying to graduate school to continue studies in aquatic and fisheries science. Katie's greatest accomplishment was being involved in conducting undergraduate research every year while attending UNL. Kyle Schumacher is from Wausau, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Grassland Ecology and Management and in Fisheries and Wildlife. Kyle will be working as a product manager for Johnson Land Management in Northeast Nebraska. He also plans to pursue a master's degree researching either fire ecology or grassland management for migratory birds. Kyle's greatest accomplishment was bringing the 2014 Wildlife Society Western Region Student Conclave to the university. Victoria Simonson is from Superior, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife and Grassland Ecology and Management and Environmental Studies. Victoria will be working as a field technician in South Dakota this summer. In the fall, she returned to UNL to begin her master's degree, working on a project with Dr. Fontaine. Victoria's greatest accomplishment was conducting her own undergraduate research project and being able to present the results of that project at multiple meetings. Stephen Warner is from La Vista, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife. After graduation, Stephen will be pursuing employment. Stephen's greatest accomplishment was finishing college with a lot of different minors. Alyssa Wilkin is from Beatrice, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Fisheries and Wildlife and in Biology. Alyssa will be seeking a career in fisheries or wildlife science and potentially pursuing a master's degree. Alyssa's greatest educational experiences were being a part of the Naval ROTC and going to Cedar Point Biology Station. Zhang Ming Yoon is from China and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Restoration Sciences. Zhang Ming is attending graduate school after graduation. Zhang Ming's greatest educational experience was attending UNL, which is much different from studying in China.
I think the deans have kind of got to get with the hand thing anyway. Next, Dr. Renee McPhee, coordinator of the professional program in veterinary medicine in the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, will lead graduates from that department.
Elise Brower is from Grand Island, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science. Elise will be traveling to Zimbabwe, where she will work with rehabilitating lions and other injured or orphaned wildlife. Elise's greatest educational experience was taking a sow farrowing class. Lisa Berghardt from Craig, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science. Lisa will be working for Seaboard Foods in Management. Lisa's greatest accomplishment was getting an A in her independent study course. Catherine Fiedler is from Yankton, South Dakota, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science. Catherine will be attending Kansas State Veterinary School starting in the fall of 2015. Catherine's greatest educational experience was performing her first ever rectal exam in her reproduction class. Daniel Jones is from Potter, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science. Danielle will be continuing her passion for large animals in the working field, either through working on the medication side or through more hands-on experience as a veterinary technician. Danielle's greatest educational experience was testing different stresses on Staphylococcus aureus while working for Dr. Somerville. Charmaine Katzberg is from Prosser, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary technology. Charmaine will be returning home and obtaining a job working as a licensed veterinary technician and assisting on the family farm. Charmaine's greatest accomplishment was completing the veterinary technology program at Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture and then passing her veterinary technician national exam while completing classes here at UNL. Erin Klein is from York, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science and in global studies. Erin will be interning with animal rehabilitation and conservation efforts, starting with the Cheetah Conservation Fund in Namibia. Erin's greatest educational experience was opportunities to travel the world through study abroad. Lene Maxon is from Burwell, Nebraska, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in veterinary science. Lene will be attending veterinary school through the UNL Iowa State School of Veterinary Medicine program. Lene's greatest accomplishments are being accepted into veterinary school and creating lifelong friendships with wonderful people.
Please join me in congratulating all of these graduates from our various programs in CASA. I can't remember whether Dean Waller mentioned this in his first remarks, but these students represent about half of the students who are receiving degrees from the college tomorrow. There's a almost record number of 324 students receiving their bachelor's degrees from the college tomorrow. That reflects a huge amount of growth that the college has had over the last number of years. This is the fourth year in a row that students studying agriculture and natural resources at the University of Nebraska is at the highest enrollment in our history, in our 146-year history as the University of Nebraska. And we're very, very happy about that, and these students reflect that growth. I think you also saw, as you listened and you saw these students and you listened to the various things they talked about as highlights of their education, you listened to where they're headed and the careers that they have in front of them, how academically talented they are, that we're very, very proud of them too. So again, congratulations to all of them, congratulations to all of you, and have a great day with your graduates tomorrow. I'm now going to invite Steve Kaiser, the president of the Kasner Alumni Association, forward to make a few remarks. Steve?
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Steve Kaiser, and I'm the current Kasner Alumni Association president. And on behalf of the entire board and the Alumni Association, congratulations on your graduation. It is my pleasure to be here to honor and celebrate your accomplishment on this day. And remember what you've done and appreciate it. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy to get to this moment. And know, as everyone stated before, you are well prepared with a quality education from Kasner. And helping recognize you is just one of the responsibilities that I gotta have. I'm part of the fun responsibilities of the organization. We are an independent alumni association that focuses its attention on the college and the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources. We strive to enhance and cultivate the relationship of the entire Kasner network, be it prospective, current students, and of course, its alumni and its family and friends. And I'm extremely proud to be part of this organization. We do many great things, such as this salute. One of our number one responsibilities is raising scholarships to incoming Kasner students so we can have this amazing talent that you see here today. Since 2005, we've raised over $40,000 in scholarships, and I'm sure some of you in this crowd have received a scholarship from us. So, with some of these events in mind, this is my quick pitch. I hope you'll consider joining the Kasner Alumni Association. It's for $20 a year, and it'll help you stay connected to fellow graduates and help provide scholarships, as I mentioned, to future Kasner students. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. I'll be around afterwards if you have any questions. And for me personally, I was in your seats 5 years ago. This has been one of the best organizations that I've been able to give back because, as you can see, you've gotten such a great education and you'll be afforded so many opportunities with this education through Kasner. So that's my quick pitch. From your entire Kasner Alumni Association, congratulations. You are well prepared for the challenges and adventures that lie ahead, and we wish you the very best for your future endeavors. And now, I'm going to hand it back over to Dean Waller.
As you probably noticed, we need a height requirement on our students if they're going to stand up here. Maybe a sign that says you can't be any taller than the dean. We're going to Photoshop some things. There's one in there we've got to Photoshop. This is a wonderful day for us, and we're nearing the completion. But this year we've created a new recognition, and it's called the Kasner Spirit Award. And with that, I'd like Chris to come up here. I want you to know a little bit more about Chris Bousquet. We've created this award to identify a student that is symbolic of this graduating class and one that represents what Kasner is all about. And so Chris walked across the stage like all of our other graduates, very proud, but there's more story to Chris, and it's more about what this college is about and what our students are about. So he's a member of the National Guard. He's had 3 or 4 overseas deployments for 2 to 3 months at a time. He's had several deployments that are 2 and 3 weeks at a time. This is all during his education. That's a remarkable accomplishment by itself, but to be serving the country at the same time he's trying to complete a degree is a wonderful, wonderful thing for him to do. And we wanted to acknowledge that. But in addition, you heard that, if you remember his comments that were read, that he's starting a support fund for a cancer fund. And amazingly, this young man was diagnosed 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and he's going through treatment, never missed a beat. He is so committed to his education and so proud of this college for what they did while he worked his way through this, that we wanted to make him our very first Kasner Spirit Award, and I want you to applaud his accomplishment.
So I didn't really know any of this was going to go on until about 45 minutes ago, or however long. Once I got here, they told me that they were going to do all this stuff, and what an honor, you know. I didn't expect any sort of recognition, nor did I really want any, and it's an honor to be the first person to accept this award. And the reason why I guess I want to do something with people that are in my predicament is because, you know, I've thought a lot about life after college, you know, like, you know, yeah, you can get all the recognition and all the awards you want, or, I mean, those are all fine and dandy and great, but what really matters is what you do after college and what kind of person you are once you graduate. And that's one of the reasons why I guess I want to help people out and continue on being a major person in the community, not just sitting idly by and collecting a paycheck, you know, on my weekly or my routine job back in the dairy farm with my dad and my family. But it's just, I just want to say thanks to Kasner and to UNL. It's a huge honor, and that's all I got, I guess. So.
Tom Brokaw has written a book called The Greatest Generation, and this college writes a page in a book called The Remarkable Generation every day. And he represents the remarkable generation that you've sent to us, and they're outside. Hopefully it's not raining, getting their picture taken. So there will be a group photo of this amazing class, and Chris will be part of it. The recognition we're going to provide is that we will buy a brick for Chris and have it out in our legacy courtyard in his honor. And so if you're ever back on campus and remember Chris and his story, you can stop by the legacy courtyard and see his brick. We're amazed at what we get to do on your behalf when we get to share time with your students. The rest of the program is really kind of winding down while the students are out getting their picture taken. So we can talk about photos. Gerald Horst is taking photos that will be posted, and your program is just a wealth of information. Cleverly, the Alumni Association put an ad in there on how you might buy a brick. So you can read that. There's recognition for students that have done remarkable jobs in the classroom, the highest distinction. As you go through that, think about all the stories you heard and realize, as Dr. Green said, you've heard half the stories for this graduating class. So that's amazing. If you want to take photos, many of these students, as you might guess, dressed up better than we've seen them in the 4 years they've been here. I wouldn't miss the opportunity of a family photo. So use our backdrop, and it'll stay up as long as you want to use it. And we'd love for you to archive this. And once again, if you want to update your status, why, you can use that photo, maybe. Each student will get a video of the history of the college. For those of you that are in certain generations, it's narrated by Dick Cavett, and you'll recognize the name. Your students have no idea. But get it from them when they come back home so that you can look at it. It's a remarkable testimony to what this college has accomplished over the years it's been part of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. There are flowers out back. We want this to be memorable for the mothers and grandmothers and aunts, and so the students will be able to pick up a flower and give it to you. My only caution is if the young men in our graduating class also have significant others with them, I wish them well in their choice. Actually, we have more than enough. I think they might be able to cover more than one. But and take the program, take the flower, press it, take it home, and share it, and remember this wonderful day. One thing I always like to say, once again, the kids are getting their photo taken, so it'll be a few minutes before they get back for you to latch onto them. But they're never too old nor too big to hug. So today's a good day to give those students a hug, because if you're as proud of them as we are, that makes the most sense at this point in time. We wish you well tomorrow. We hope you have a great day at commencement. Sunday is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone in the room that has been involved in raising these students for us, and safe travels to all of you. So with that, I think, I had one more thing I was supposed to mention. Maps to Pinnacle Bank Arena are available. You can now drive to Pinnacle Bank. Yesterday you could have followed some pontoons through, but it's available, and we're going to have a senior send-off in the clubhouse room, club lounge, and it's for the family just to get organized. Coffee, donuts, no program. We just want you to have something to do. It's a nice way to make sure your student gets there, and you can feel good about it because you can find them. We start at 7:30. Nobody else is there. This is the College of Ag Sciences and Natural Resources, so your history is you're early, and most of you proved that today. I hope you enjoyed the event, and tomorrow, if you get there early, you will also enjoy that because you can identify some seating and get settled in for commencement. And it will be very special. The students will get their diploma tomorrow. Most institutions don't do that. There's a lot of people working right now trying to make sure that your graduate actually gets their actual diploma in their hand, and that's Nebraska. There is no place like Nebraska. And with that, thank you so much for sharing this day with us. Thank you.